Wow, an uncritical liberal conflating capitalism with consumer products? Yeah, this all checks out. How is it in 2024 we still have people trying to uncritically equate capitalism with society itself? As if capitalism is consumerism. Capitalism is all of the products of labor. Capitalism is iPhone. To be a communist, you must not participate in society, you must be a hermit and go live in the forest. This just in. Communism is when no Pilates, no iPhone, no juice or coffee. Communists definitely are barred entry from living in Miami. If you're not living under the bridge, are you even communisming? Come on, fairy garden girl of Texas. Capitalism is not commerce. Capitalism is not consumerism. Capitalism is not having personal property and personal things, even if they are expensive. Capitalism is not the free market, and capitalism is certainly not society. Do you want to know what capitalism is? Capitalism is the private ownership of the means to produce commodities. Capitalism is the private ownership of public resources concurrent with the exploitation of labor. Capitalism is simply a way of organizing the economy. What are you implying here with your comment? Let's check it out. You're saying that to be a communist, you must reject society altogether. Wholesale rejection of society at large. A communist is not allowed to own a home. A communist is not allowed to buy a coffee. A communist is not allowed to exercise. Communism is when no exercise. Don't take classes if you're a communist, because that's capitalism. Paying for things is capitalism. Now that we've correctly defined capitalism as the private ownership of public resources, let's identify its antithesis, the public ownership of public resources. Or, in other words, socialism. We as communists advocate for socialism. Socialism corrects the inherent exploitation baked into the capitalist mode of production, which is the exploitation of labor by a class of people who don't work. Socialism changes the power structure in our economy by prioritizing labor over capital, and thusly workers over capitalists. You cannot divorce politics from the economy, and there would be no government without an economy. Thus, every economic decision is political by nature. And since we live in capitalism, it is the capitalist mode of production which dominates the economy, and thus capitalists control the economy. And because the economy is also political, capitalists control the government. It is but for the simple fact that reformations like voting are met with violent resistance by capitalists, by the reactionary ruling class, which makes revolution inevitable. I'll say that again. It is because the peaceful transference of power is always met with violent resistance by those in power, the reactionary capitalist class, which makes a revolution inevitable. Acknowledging the political economy of capitalism that we live in and the class-based nature of our society, and then still choosing to finger wag at communists who are seeking social change, actual real social change, is reactionary behavior, and you are simply a promoter of the status quo and a defender of capitalism. Liberals are the biggest roadblock to social change, and ironically the greatest destabilizers in our society, for the simple fact that there are so many of them apologizing for and even defending and normalizing an inherently racist, exploitative, and violent political economy. Liberals such as yourself don't actually care for real social change. You just don't want to be uncomfortable.
Nixon ordered Cambodian genocide. Clinton sent cruise missiles to Sudan, people died. Obama gave the orders to do drone